2024, and I want you guys to hold me accountable. I want you guys to be witness for this. 2024, I'm going to develop a damn video game.
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game!
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the journey of game development. It's been a hectic time, not in the game development maybe specifically, but in terms of I've had deadlines, and I've had some a busy April, as you've seen from the other vlogs and stuff. We had the open day and stuff, and we just had a lot of weekends that we were not home. So in terms of time, maybe not so much free time for the month, but we persevered, we pressed on, and we did get something done. So let me take you through the demo once more, as you are welcomed again by the dancing cowboy, and you'll see you can now go inside the house. And when he sleeps, he wakes up at night, he exits, and it's nighttime. Woo! He goes back in the house, he sleeps again, wakes up the next day, and it's day. Alright, cool. That's the video. Cheers, guys. Now, for the actual changes. The house thing was, I said, the main thing to be able to switch from day to night right now. But the fact that it's night now has opened a new possibilities of quite a bunch of stuff, which I'll go through now. So, for example, let's go to the barn first. And you notice something. It says the barn is empty and quiet at night, come back again tomorrow. You'll notice someone specifically isn't here. And, you know, you can't really do anything. Like, you can pick up the stuff, sure, but nothing will happen. Okay, maybe something will happen, but we'll get to that one in just a second. Anyway, as for the barn person, here he is right here. And it's a little bit more, as if you count your fingers from last time. There's one new person and two new people. This one is still going to work in the bank at some point, but she's here chilling in the saloon, where most of the townsfolk will gather at night here and stuff like that. And you'll notice now, if you recall from the first one, you can actually get a beer now. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Actually, if you also chat to the bar hand, instead of what you say, it only says that he'll ask you now, would you like a beer? You can pick it up, bottoms up, obviously if you have the money. And yeah, you have a beer that you can put away somewhere, but you have a beer you can put away and have in your hand. And you can even give it to people now. So for example, well, not all of them will take. I remember, you recall, this lady always asks for a beer, but for example, you can't click on him at the moment. You can click on her. She's not going to react really to your beer and stuff like that, because she's going to react to you playing the piano and stuff like that. So yeah, she's not really going to react to beer. This one will. If you give her, she says thanks for the beer, and she puts them down here. So yeah, and then once she obviously takes down a beer, you can have another one for yourself, because now you've had one. If you try and obviously take more than one, he's gonna ask you to finish the beer in your hand first. Now let's try and give that lady who so said, give us a beer please. And you'll notice her big, strong, brutish boyfriend is here asking what you do, and you just have to slowly back away, and perhaps it's time to leave the saloon at this point. Alright, well, we've gone on our stolen horse over here, and we've visited a saloon. If we go into the store, nothing new really here. It's all the same, all the same. We'll have some more stuff for the store at another point, but for now it's all the same. And yeah, we can just browse around, maybe go back to the barn. Uh-oh! He called you, he caught you, because he tried to steal at night and he noticed and his horses were disturbed, and yeah, he came to check on them. So yeah, now you're back in the clinger. And now when you go back, you're reset back to day. I also just want to point out, like, if you were to visit enough stores and do enough things in stores, it'll just also naturally devolve to night when you visit enough stores and all that. So that's also a thing. But you can also just skip forward if you want to do stuff in the specific time period, and then yeah, you can just skip forward to the next one. So that's mostly the demo of a few things. There's a few conditions for a bunch of stuff. For example, people will remember you. So for example, say I go over here now and I buy the gun. If you recall, actually you guys don't know this one, so get prepared to introduce. If you bring a gun into the barn, he's gonna plead for his life here. You can steal a horse from the barn in broad daylight, but now remember, he did see your face. He does know who you are now, regardless, like, if you've robbed him blind and stuff like that. So, well, you can now browse around and do your merry thing and stuff like that. People will remember you. So if I do go back to the barn, I'm going to get jailed for it. Like instantly jailed. But if I do browse around, obviously he's not. Oh yes, wait, he is here. Never mind. But like, yeah, he is here. But if you were to visit the saloon, he's also here, and he will tell people that you the guy who stole this, and he'll end up in a clinger again. So that's quite a bunch of things. I thought the dynamic was important to go between night and day to talk about, you know, what you can do during night and what you can do during day, and how people will shift around, like normal NPCs have schedules and stuff like that of where they would be. So yeah, that was mostly it. I'm going to divulge into the code now, which is become a complex list again, which is, thank goodness we did sort out those globals when we did, because had we still kept a lot of them, I think we would have had quite an interesting time on our hands. So in terms of objects, we got way more objects now. Most of them is like standard stuff. For example, the woman you meet in the bar, she's like had a clicked thing, and there was a thing also to check if you've given her a beer or whatever, as well as this was just to keep coordinates, because I kept accidentally deleting the beer off the table that you were supposed to buy as well. So this was just a way to force that, or brute force it a little bit. But anyway, like you'll see, if you left press her, it's the standard stuff to make sure none of the other ones as they clicked functions is true. This is to check if the alcohol, if she got an alcohol from you already, because she only really takes the one. It's not necessary to keep destroying objects if you've already given her the alcohol. And obviously this is just to make sure that once you've given her the alcohol, obviously you don't have alcohol, you don't have an infinite source. I know a lot of people would love an infinite source of alcohol, but unfortunately it's not existing in this game. But yeah, so once you've given it to her, you can go buy another beer now and stuff like that. So example, same things with you've seen with a lot of stuff. The beer is sort of like the guns and the ammo in the shop. Like you can take it, you can like make sure you click on it, and this one just checks if you trying to buy with already a beer in your hand, you have to have enough money, and you have to not have a beer already, and it just does this stuff, and it subtracts from your money. Else, if the money is, if you don't have the money, no money will be true, and it's going to tell you, listen, they don't hand out free beer. And same stuff, click, is false and all that. So same stuff as you've already seen. Real interesting was the trap one, really, because obviously when she presses, the one thing that has to happen is the brute, which is her boyfriend, he's actually already there from the beginning. He just becomes visible once you try to give her a beer, basically. And then he becomes, his threatened flag goes up, because I might have other interactions with him in the future, but his threatened flag will go up telling you specifically that's the dialogue he's going to pick. And yeah, he's basically telling you to back off and stuff like that. So that's more or less that. Obviously, the barn ant changed quite a bit. His was quite an interesting one to deal with, because he's got the threatened timer. I gave a little bit of a timer just to give you the ability to read the dialogue, and if you stay in the room too long, you're going to get arrested or whatever. So, for example, if he's in the room barn, if you've committed the crime of either horse theft or horse theft at night, like either he saw you in broad daylight committing horse theft because you pointed a gun at him and you took the horse, but if he was not there. And you try to get the crime, try to basically steal the horse at night, and it's like nighttime currently, he's also going to appear in the barn and he's going to be threatened. The reason being was like, if you steal the horse at night, obviously he's not there, but it creates a disturbance, and then he goes to check, he'll realize that the horse is gone, so he's going to stay there obviously to make sure maybe the robber's going to come back and steal the other horses while he's there. So that's why he's at the barn. But also, yeah, he will disappear also from the saloon if this happens in the night. But yeah, his mostly was the threatened stuff, the threat timer and all that. He also has the step one to check, like to count the threat timer down, and then basically what's going to happen is you're going to end up going to jail once the threat timer runs out of time. This is, like I said, this is the one where if he's at the saloon or stuff or whatever, he gets like, or he's at the saloon, so he's not at the barn if you haven't committed a crime, so he's not going to be there at night. So yeah, stuff like that, and stuff like this is just the same old from the barn working. But yeah, the big thing was to be able to say there's now a day-night cycle in the game, which is quite cool. I had a lot of fun with that, because obviously I just designed the same background, same objects, precisely the same, but I just made it night with the darkened colors and the setting and all that. And yeah, there's now a means to make it day and night by visiting your house, which it will have. I will have other ideas for the house in the future. For example, when the bank comes into play, I want to have this whole thing of you can conceal your identity, obviously, which many outlaws in the West did with bandana or something like that, because I think that's cool, because then they don't know necessarily who you are, rather than just going in brazen face like you are currently when you're robbing the horse and stuff like that. So there's still a lot of ideas, but I think as a transitional one, where we've done the nighttime now, and where we've done a little bit more interaction with the saloon and the barn at night, I think this is a good place to start to kick off the second half of our game development, because from here on it's going to become more complex as ever before. I've mentioned it before, but I'm ready. Every time I feel more confident, and every time we're reaching for higher, so I'm really happy with that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little update to the journey so far, and if you have any other suggestions for the saloon, the barn, the house, anything at night or day, I'm all ears. So feel free to throw those in the comments. But until then, it is goodbye from the cowboy, the horses, and from me. And I'll join you on the next one. You guys stay safe, and we'll chat soon.